Welcome guys. I am starting a new series. In this series, we will take a different chapter of book Youth by Acharya Prashant sir. In this video, we will talk about the first chapter, and in first chapter, sir is asking question: Why is education not helping the world? So we will read together what it is in chapter one. So let's start paragraph by paragraph. We will go. So the question is, in spite of having a world that is more and more educated, with every passing day, the literacy level are increasing, more and more people are enrolling for higher education as well. In spite of having all this, why do we have world like this? Education has two layers of it. The first layer is the superficial one, which deals with the object. Let us see what all is included in this layer. Since your childhood, you have studied Hindi, English, history, geography, mathematics, and now technology. But you are not the languages, you are not the glaciers, the mountains that you read about in the geography. You are not the kings and their kingdoms that you read in the history. You are not a quadratic equation. You are not a differential equation either uh, that you read in the mathematics. And none of you is electromagnetic motor about which you are reading currently. So all of these are external objects, and that is just superficial education which takes the mind to objects outside. Objects include people, places, things, moments, everything. So when education tells us about other people and their thinking, when education tells you about science and products of the science, it's all about objects and external objects. And your education has filled your mind with knowledge about external object, which is all right, which is important to an extent, but that is superficial. That is just the first layer of the education. Real education is something else. Real education takes the mind not outwards but inwards. Real education is about a mind that is able to understand its own processes. Real education is something else. Real education takes the mind out, not outward but inward, and real education is about a mind that is able to understand its own processes. So this thing. So from where does the anger arises? Why I am so insecure? Why am I always restless? Why can't I be attentive? Why I am jealous? Why I am possessive? What is the quality of my relationships? What is love? What is joy? What is truth and freedom? A mind that cannot acquire into this is not an educated mind. A mind that cannot go itself, pointing at the mind, what are thoughts, how do they arise? When education is about the external, the laboratory is outside. When education is about the mind, then you have to observe the mind itself. Then the observatory is here, pointing at the mind. So in the point of view of internal education, the laboratory is inside yourself. If you just have the first kind of education, you will get what someone has called as guided missiles and unguided men, what someone else has called as smartphones and stupid people. That is the product of the first kind of education that takes you just outside. So learn about what others have done, what kind of technology are being developed in the labs, but then you will have smartphones and stupid people because you are not stupid. You are you are intelligently only when you can look at yourself and understand your mind. Otherwise you are completely stupid even if you hold a master degree. You are not educated in real sense. You are not educated in the real sense if only the first kind of education is coming to you. I never tire of telling my audience that if you keep all your education till date kept on one side and the HIDP Holistic Individual Development Program on the other, the HIDP will outweigh the rest of your education because the HIDP is not about the object, the HIDP is about you. The same kind, the same mind that has always been forced to wander outside the HIDP takes it inwards, and that is far more important. That is the second kind of education, the real education, in absence of which you are not really educated. You ask, why do we have so many crimes and such things? Part of that you would have understood, right? Guided missiles and unguided men. There is another layer of understanding why we have so much of all this. You talked about uh, that particular rape case. Don't you see that every kid since childhood is being told to speak the truth, to be a loving being, and to be non-violent, and still the child's create a world like this, which is full of misery, suffering, corruption, violence, ha- hate, hatred, and rape. Do you never wonder that in spite of being told all this so-called virtuous things in childhood, from where do these crimes come? After all, every criminal was a child once, and every child is told of all these moral and immoral things. Then why do people grow up to the murder and rapist? Why? The reason is because the truth cannot come to you from outside. The truth of life cannot come to you from outside. Is a great misconception to think that ethics and morality can be taught, but that is what is happening in every house. The mother tells the child to speak the truth, and if the kid is not totally a dull kid, he will turn around and ask, "But mummy, why should I speak the truth?" The mother will be irritated because she does not know. Somebody told her. That's the way she knows. If it does not come from her own understanding. So it just remains a foreign thing to the kid. It cannot become his life. It cannot become his way of living because he has never really understood what is wrong with lying, what is wrong with the violence. The kid says, "Mummy keeps telling me that violence is not right, but I get so much of pleasure in killing these small insects." And mummy is not really able to tell him why killing insects is wrong. At best, she can give some borrowed answer which does not convince the kid. Till the time you do not get the second kind of education, the life remain violent, life will remain full of suffering, people will remain ambitious and greedy and disconnected. You must go within. Truth, love, and joy are not the words to be borrowed from somebody, they are to be discovered within. The real freedom, the only freedom, is the freedom of the mind, and unless your education brings that to you, education is worthless. It can give you a few conveniences, which is all right, but but they will all be superficial. So hope you enjoyed the chapter one. So if you like, then subscribe my channel, and we will meet in the next video. In next video, we will discuss chapter two of this book.